A common question I get on this channel is how I'm able to set aside $1,500 every month into my stocks and shares ISA. I feel very privileged to be in a position to do this and understand for many people this is simply not achievable, especially in today's economic climate with the cost of living crisis. However, I still want to do this video to explain how I've personally been able to achieve this and my journey, as I've built an intentional plan to get to this point. We're going to split the video into two parts. Firstly, going through why I invest this exact figure every month, and secondly, going through how I'm able to do it. So let's get into it by going through why I set aside this money. To understand this, we need to understand my overall financial goals. I've got a goal to reach a 100k portfolio in my ISA accounts by the end of 2027. I made this my key financial goal at the end of last year, as I want to build up my ISA portfolio as quickly as possible to enable me to retire early, and reaching 100k is a key milestone in that journey. My wider and long-term financial goal is to reach a portfolio of around £1 million and then withdraw around 4% every year from that portfolio to fund living expenses. So this is my retirement plan. The reason why I plan on withdrawing a specific 4% figure is because much research suggests that withdrawing 4% will give a high probability that I will not run out of money till I die, since the money I withdraw should hopefully be balanced out by increases in investment value in the portfolio over the long term. Of course, this is not guaranteed, as the research backing this strategy is based on past performance of the markets, so it might not work out in the future, as we all know that past performance is no guarantee of future performance. For this reason, I have a backup plan in also contributing to a private pension. Although I won't be able to access this pension till an age dictated by the government, which is currently 55, it still provides a backup plan, as if the markets do perform badly when I withdraw from my ISA portfolio, meaning the ISA portfolio reduces in value, I only need this ISA portfolio to last between the age I retire early, let's say 45, till the age I receive my private pension, which let's say is 60. So I only need that ISA portfolio to last for around 15 years, as from the age I can get my private pension, I'll be relying on that to fund my living expenses. Nonetheless, my core plan, my primary plan, is getting a 1 million portfolio in non-pension accounts to fund my early retirement. And reaching 100k is a key milestone in that journey. The reason why it's such a key milestone is because it's often deemed a key benchmark for the compound effect to really get to work and for portfolios to explode. So for this reason, I want to reach 100k as quickly as possible. And I've set a timeline to reach this within 3 years. And how I set this timeline was based on three main factors. Firstly, how much I had already saved. Secondly, the max amount I can save each month, which I set at 1,500. And thirdly, how much growth I believe I can achieve in the portfolio every year. I went through this plan in the previous video, and I'll put a link for this video in the description. But to provide a quick overview of the plan and how these three factors work, let's bring up a compound calculator. Based on my current portfolio value at the time of recording, which is 38,000, me contributing 1,500 every month, and an annual 10% growth rate, we can see the calculator suggests that I should reach 100k within the next 2.5 years. Specifically, I reached the goal within month 30. The biggest factor in achieving this goal within this time frame is my remaining contributions. And this is just a combination of putting 1.5k every month into my portfolio. This shows why I'm contributing 1,500 every month, as doing this is the single biggest factor in helping me reach my 100k goal. Now we know this, let's get into how I'm able to achieve setting aside this money every month. A common answer to this in the comments section on my channel is that I must have a crazy high paying job. Don't get me wrong, I do okay, I'm a management consultant by day, but my salary isn't super high. It is certainly nowhere close to 6 figures. How I'm able to set aside this money is based on three main pillars. The first pillar is focus. Setting aside 1,500 every month is my primary financial goal on a month-to-month basis. I don't have other goals to set aside money into savings accounts or other investment accounts, so I'm able to focus most of my leftover income after living costs and general expenses into going into my stocks and shares ISA. You may be thinking, why don't I contribute to a savings account? And the answer to this is also the answer to the question of why I didn't set the 100k goal earlier. The reason is because previously I had two other financial goals before the end of last year. Firstly, in building up a large emergency fund in a savings account, and secondly, building up my first time property deposit in a LISA account. I was able to achieve both of these financial goals at the end of last year, and at that point felt in a position to direct my focus to another financial goal, which is reaching the 100k portfolio. Now that I am focused on this goal, my finances are completely directed to achieving this, and I actually treat the monthly payment like a bill. I have 1,500 going into my investment account on a monthly basis for an automated payment, and this payment happens just after payday, meaning that I don't have the opportunity to spend that money and miss out on that goal of setting aside 1,500 every month. So the automation and the focus has been key in enabling me to achieve the goal of putting aside 1,500 every month. But this doesn't explain how I'm able to afford setting aside this money. And for this, we need to move on to the second pillar. The second pillar is all about increasing my income. 2.5 years ago, I decided to change my career. I wasn't happy at my last job, I wasn't happy with a few factors, and one of those factors was my salary. So I changed jobs and benefited from a significant salary increase. Through this increase in income, I was bringing in more every month, which meant I could set aside more every month into my investment account. This factor was definitely the most challenging out of the 3 factors we'll go through in this video, as frankly, it is hard to change jobs. However, I put all my efforts into this as I knew that this factor was crucial in helping me achieve my financial goals at the pace I wanted to achieve them. If I was still in my old job now, I definitely wouldn't be able to set this goal of reaching a 100k portfolio within 3 years, and I definitely wouldn't be able to set aside 1,500 every month. However, to be clear, as I mentioned earlier, I don't want you thinking that I have a super high paying job, that I'm on Premier League footballer wages, and that I'm able to set aside 1,500 every month without thinking. This is not the case. 1,500 is a huge percentage of my salary every month, and having this salary alone and having the focus alone is not enough. And this is where the third pillar comes in, as the third pillar enables me to use my salary and use my focus to contribute this amount every month. The third pillar is all about keeping costs low. This enables me to have the necessary amount of income left over from my salary to be able to set aside 1,500 every month. And I keep costs low through 2 main mechanisms. Firstly, I have low core costs as I don't have kids, I still currently rent and split this rent with my partner, and I also don't have a car. Of course, some of these factors will likely change over time, and that's actually provided me added impetus to wanting to achieve this 100k goal as soon as possible, as I have great ability to do this and try and achieve this goal whilst my core costs are low. The second mechanism I'm able to keep costs low is through minimal general expenses. I don't spend much on material items, and as any of my mates will tell you, I really like a deal. I like to get deals on things, whether that's 2 for 1 at bars, or a good cashback deal, or any other deal, you name it. However, this doesn't mean that I'm really strict at budgeting, as I still like to make sure I have enough income allocated to things which make me happy. I just make sure that there's a balance in saving money on things which don't give me enjoyment, such as food at home. I buy food at home from Aldi rather than M&S. On the other side of the coin, I balance these savings in making sure that I have enough set aside for things which do give me enjoyment. For example, I set aside money for a few holidays each year, plenty of experiences, and plenty of sporting events, such as I have a season ticket for my football team Ipswich, as I enjoy following them, I enjoy going to matches, and my plan allows me to still do stuff I enjoy. For me personally, if I went too strict with my budget and compromised on things I enjoy, it would just likely lead to me going off course from my plan and hating my plan. Instead, by being more lenient in my budget within areas I enjoy, I'm much more likely to stick to my plan and can also enjoy life at the same time. Nonetheless, my overall costs are still fairly low, and this pillar is key in helping me set aside 1,500 every month. And overall, the combination of these 3 pillars in firstly focus, secondly increasing my income, and thirdly keeping costs low has been crucial in helping me get to this point where I can set aside 1,500 every month into my Stocks and Shares ISA. If you'd like to follow my overall journey to try and get to 100k within the next 3 years, then I'd greatly appreciate a subscribe. And if you want to see my most recent portfolio update for the portfolio I'm using to try and reach this 100k goal, I have it around here. But for this video, thank you for watching.